You ever have one of those days where you feel like you're just spinning your wheels? You're busy, sure, but you're not actually getting anywhere? Well, today, we're diving into the one skill that can completely change that picture: self-management. It's all about taking charge of your inner world so you can make a real, meaningful impact on your outer world. Let's jump in. So, here's our game plan for today. First up, we're going to lay the foundation by really understanding what's going on in our inner world. Then, we'll build on that by fueling our motivation, learning how to actually achieve our goals, and getting to know ourselves a little better. And to wrap it all up, we'll pack everything into a handy toolkit you can start using right away. So, why does mastering your inner world matter so much? Honestly, because it's the real difference between just getting by and truly thriving. It's that secret ingredient that helps you focus on a huge project instead of doom scrolling on your phone, or staying cool in a tense conversation instead of just reacting. Oh man, we have all been there, right? You feel like you're being pulled in a million different directions, just constantly reacting to whatever life throws at you. That feeling is exactly why self-management is such a game changer. It's about finally grabbing the steering wheel of your own life. Okay, so what are we really talking about here? At its heart, self-management, you might also call it self-control, is simply the ability to direct yourself on purpose. It's the skill that lets you pay attention in a long lecture, follow through on your promises, and just consistently work toward the stuff that actually matters to you. Now, you can't really go anywhere without some fuel in the tank, can you? That's exactly where motivation and a positive attitude come into play. You can think of them as the engine inside you that powers all your efforts and keeps you moving forward, especially when things get a little tough. I just love this quote from Helen Keller. She really got it. Believing in a positive outcome isn't just some fluffy, nice-to-have idea. It's the absolute bedrock for any kind of achievement. That hope and confidence, that's what turns a simple wish into real, concrete action. So there are basically two types of fuel for our motivational engine. On one side, you've got intrinsic motivation. That's the fire inside you, the stuff you do just because you love it or believe in it. And on the other side, there's extrinsic motivation, which is all about outside rewards, like getting a good grade or a paycheck. Both are useful, for sure, but that internal, intrinsic drive, that's what keeps you going for the long haul. At the end of the day, motivation is really about having a why. It's that powerful force that points all your actions toward a specific goal. It's the magic that transforms a fuzzy dream into a clear target that you're actively working to hit. So how do you actually grow that optimistic mindset? Well, it's not magic, it's a practice. It means things like starting your day with intention, making a conscious choice to feed your mind positive stuff, and, this one's huge, focusing on solutions instead of getting bogged down by problems. Every failure stops being a dead end and starts being a lesson. And look, let's be real, stress is going to happen. It's just part of life. The goal isn't to get rid of it completely, but to get really good at managing it. When you can take charge of your emotional response, you can navigate the choppy waters instead of letting the storm just sink your ship. Okay, so we've got a powerful engine, it's all fueled up, but an engine running at full blast without a steering wheel, that's just chaos. That's where goals come in. They are your compass, giving all that amazing motivational energy a clear, focused direction. And this brings us to a really important idea: being results-oriented. This isn't just about being busy for the sake of being busy. It's about being effective. It means you start with the end in mind. You know exactly what outcome you're shooting for, and then you work backward to figure out the exact steps to get there. This image really says it all, doesn't it? You can't hit a target that you can't even see. The very first step to being result-oriented is getting crystal clear on what your goal actually is, because a fuzzy target will always lead to a fuzzy outcome. So how do we do it? Well, it's a pretty straightforward three-step process. First, you define that clear goal. Second, you create a detailed action plan. What are the specific steps you're going to take? And third, you figure out and gather the resources you'll need, whether that's tools, books, or even help from other people. This example makes the whole idea of an action plan really concrete. It's just about asking three simple questions. What's my goal? What am I currently doing to get there? And what should I be doing? This little exercise is what turns a wish into a real strategy. Okay, so we've got our engine and we've got our compass. But who's the one steering the ship? This brings us to maybe the most important skill of all: self-awareness. You are the map maker of your own journey, and you have to understand your own internal landscape to navigate it well. This short story just perfectly captures what it's like to live without self-awareness. You're moving, all right, but you have no clue where you're going or why. Your habits, your impulses, your emotions, the horse are in control, not you. So where do we even start with this? Right here, with our feelings. The first step to becoming more self-aware is just noticing what you're feeling and maybe why. Are you happy, frustrated, a little nervous? Just being able to name your emotions is the first step toward understanding them. And this leads us right into personality. It's basically the organized pattern of your thoughts, feelings, and behaviors that makes you, well, you. Understanding your unique personality is so critical because it influences how you interact with everyone and everything around you. A really popular way to understand personality is called the Big Five framework. It just looks at where you fall on five key spectrums: openness to new things, conscientiousness, which is about how organized and disciplined you are, extroversion, or where you get your energy, agreeableness, how you cooperate with others, and finally, neuroticism, which is your tendency to feel negative emotions. Knowing where you stand here is like getting a user manual for yourself. So just take a second here and think about it. Which of these really jumps out at you? Are you more of an adventurous, open type, or more of a careful, conscientious planner? There's no right or wrong answer here, but just knowing your own default settings is incredibly powerful. All right, we have covered a lot of ground. So let's pull all of these amazing concepts together into a simple, memorable toolkit that you can take with you and start using today. Here it is, your self-management toolkit. First, fuel your engine by tapping into your intrinsic motivation. Next, build your attitude by focusing on solutions. Then, set your compass with clear goals and a solid action plan. And finally, know your map by understanding your unique personality. But at the end of the day, none of this matters if you don't actually use it. You now have the knowledge, you've got the tools. So I'll leave you with this one final question. What is the first small step you're going to take starting today to become the master of your inner world?